What is up, everybody? A Miller, the killer, skin so vanilla, back with another YouTube thriller. Okay, so today we are going to talk about how to grow your fitness account on Instagram. I received a lot of DMs asking me, how did I grow my account? A year ago, I was under 10K, I was around 5,000 followers, and then a year later, I'm at now 130,000. So people ask me, how exactly do you grow your account? What steps should I be taking? What tips do you suggest? So I'm gonna break it down for you, explain what works for me and what could possibly work for you. Yeah, so let's get right into it. Alright, so let's just jump right into it without further ado. Step one, create your fitness account on Instagram either from scratch, so you create a completely new account, or you can sort of mold your personal account into a fitness page. A lot of people like to do that because they already have a following rather than starting your page from 0 followers. I personally started my page from 0 followers. I had a personal Instagram account. I wanted to separate it so that the people who I knew from high school, family, friends, that they weren't going to be looking at my new content and kind of impose their opinions, their judgments on it. I just kind of wanted to do my own thing and started from scratch and not tell anyone and see what could happen from it. So I just wanted to grow my organic vision of my page itself, and that's exactly what I did. So I started up from the ground and built my way up. So another tip that I suggest is literally just post without regard to anybody else. You have to understand that there will be people who are judging you for putting yourself out there, for trying to grow your account, for just trying to help others when you don't have that following at first. So you kind of just have to be okay with that. You kind of just have to be very vulnerable, put yourself out there, and just understand that not everybody will support you or understand why you're doing what you're doing. So that's super important, and a lot of people have trouble understanding that and implementing that. So it's just only gonna be beneficial for you later on down the road if you just adopt that sort of mindset at the beginning. Something to think about is, what exactly is your niche? What separates you from the millions of other fitness accounts trying to grow their page? Are you educational? Are you inspirational? Are you entertaining? What exactly do you excel in, which you can just showcase on your page that will separate you from the rest? That is something that you want to build your page around that's going to help you be unique. So something that's super important, especially if you take the educational approach, is just knowing what you're talking about. There's so many people in the fitness industry throughout time and currently that kind of just spew whatever they believe is true without doing any research themselves and not understanding that there is science behind exercise and behind nutrition, and it's not all anecdotal, meaning from your personal experience. So know what you're talking about. Don't just be another person who's spewing bro science if you're trying to help other people, because if people take your advice and it's not good advice, you can wind up negatively impacting someone else. So that's the last thing you want to do. And if you aren't taking the educational approach, you can sort of just say and disclaim that you're not and share your journey, and you can inspire people that way. You can be motivating. You don't have to necessarily take the scientific approach. You don't need to tell people what they need to be eating and stuff like that. You don't want to be that person that is easily able to be called out for just BS in their captions. So that's very important. I see that on a lot of different fitness pages, and it's just really see-through. So you just want to make sure if you are taking that educational approach, you do know what you're talking about. So this arguably is the most important aspect to Instagram itself, and it's providing value and authenticity with your captions. So Instagram is a visual platform, so everybody sees your picture or your video first, but what separates you from the next person is your mindset, your belief, your philosophy, your explanation, and your personality through your caption. So if you just want to post a picture and just say Friday flex day, you're probably not going to gain a lot of traction. You want to be able to separate yourself from everybody else by showcasing your unique thoughts, and that's how you'll be able to connect with more people and gain more traction that way. And like I said, Instagram is a visual platform, so you want to make sure that the content that you're posting is visually appealing. So you want to have quality photos, you want to have good lighting, you want to have photos that pop, or if you're trying to create a sort of preset on your Instagram feed, meaning that your whole grid kind of has the same pattern of colors. You want to make sure that's consistent, so you have quality that is up to a certain standard and you are consistently keeping up that standard and that quality. So you want to make sure that your videos are edited, you want to make sure your photos are edited, but you don't ever want to overdo it. You want to make sure that you enhance things, but you don't want to make it look like, oh my gosh, that's super edited and looks like trash. So keep the editing to a minimum, but you definitely want to enhance your content. And by the way, you do not need a professional camera whatsoever. I actually grew my page with just my iPhone 8 Plus and I still have it, and a lot of the times I still post from my iPhone. I did get a camera, but that was because I started a YouTube, which you're currently watching, and yeah, I actually take pictures with this camera as well, which is a Canon G7X Series 2. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So here are some more in-depth tips I'm gonna go into. Before, that was just kind of like the overall criteria that you need to understand before making a fitness account, but this is more about the detailed side of Instagram and like how you should go about posting and stuff like that. That's gonna help boost engagement, etc. So number one, post consistently. If you aren't posting consistently, there's no way you're gonna gain traction, and Instagram is all about momentum and having favoritism within the algorithm. So you wanna start posting consistently. Aaron, how much should I be posting? You should be posting at least 3 times per week starting out. And if you could do more than that, perfect. I recommend posting once per day and staying active on your stories. Staying active on your stories is literally the best way to increase engagement and showcase your personality with your audience. So the more you show your face, which is also super, super essential, make sure you show your face and start talking to the camera. Don't be afraid to show people that you can form sentences. It's literally pretty scary at first, but it's so simple, and by next week, you're gonna be pumping out stories like nobody else. And people are like, wow, this dude is really on the camera just talking, spitting facts, being funny, whatever, and he has a lot of personality. And that's what's gonna set you apart from someone else who's just posting pictures and with text. A lot of people don't like to read, and a lot of people want to connect with a person. So when they see someone speaking in the cameras, it's kind of like you're on FaceTime with that person. So it's very, very important that you show up and you post stories consistently and share aspects of your life. Be vulnerable, because you never know who's going to connect with you, and you never know how exactly what you're doing is going to benefit you in the future. So another very important tip that I can give you is always engage with your audience. So whether that be in the DMs, whether that be in the comments on your post, whether you are commenting on someone else's post that you follow that is also fitness related, you want to be engaging within your community. So that just boosts you up within the algorithm, and it shows people that you're personable. It's not like you only care about your content. You're there to support other like-minded people. So thanking people who comment on your post is just manners. People are taking time out of their day to comment on your content, so the least you can do is just thank them. And if you have DMs, make sure you answer them. So obviously if they're creepy or anything like that, you can ignore it or block it, but that's up to the viewer's discretion. So what separated my account from being just like an average account with maybe a couple thousand followers versus like a larger account was the utilization of hashtags. Because if you're not utilizing hashtags, you are significantly lowering your chance from getting on the Explore page. And that's how you grow your account, is by getting on the Explore page repeatedly. So more people seeing your content, people are going to click on whatever picture or video that you posted on their Explore page. They're gonna see, check out your profile, and if they like and resonate with the content that you post, they're gonna give you a follow. So if you do that enough times, you are going to accumulate a large following. So the trick really is to start trending on the hashtags. And when you start doing that, your post starts to get promoted, you start to get good engagement with the hashtags, which will then promote you to the Explore page. This is at least in my experience. So you want to pick right now, because Instagram algorithm is constantly changing, you want to do around 5 to 8 hashtags. It used to be 28, used to be 30, I used to do 28, but as of right now, I've seen the most progress and the most engagement from using 5 to 8 hashtags, and you don't want to do super broad hashtags. You don't want to do all hashtag fitness, hashtag bodybuilding, hashtag muscle. You want to be more specific in certain hashtags, and you want to be broad in certain hashtags, and then you want to be extra specific in other hashtags. So you want to have a few that are like the lottery ticket, the ones that have billions of posts in it. So hashtag fitness, hashtag fitfam. And then you want to have other ones that are more detailed to whatever you're speaking about. So say I'm talking about muscle protein synthesis, hashtag muscle protein synthesis. Not many people are probably posting about that. So you can do that, and that's probably going to trend on that if you have a quality post and people are engaging with it. So it's all dependent upon your post, how you select the hashtags, and your engagement in general. So that's going to promote your post. So all you got to do is make sure you do this consistently and be patient, because if you're not seeing progress within the first month or 2 months, 3 months, it's a long game, because Instagram is so saturated with people constantly pushing out content. I didn't wind up having any traction until 2.5 years into my account itself. So you kind of just have to adapt this lifestyle and just post for the sake of people deriving value from your content, not for the sake of blowing up. But obviously you want to blow up, you want to gain a following, you want to have more opportunities in business, connecting with people, etc. So these are just tips that have worked for me. You can obviously implement other things that you find around on YouTube, other things that you hear from other people, but it's usually all experimental and it's all anecdotal. So unless you work for Instagram yourself, everybody's just going off of what has happened to them. So this all just works for me. I'm not saying this is a guarantee that this is the recipe to blow up, but this is exactly what I did. I don't recommend paying for any ads whatsoever. Just try your best to do it organically, and yeah, just show up and show that you care about people and you want to provide that valuable content and give people a reason why to follow you. You know, like, why would you follow yourself? You know, so make sure you're either entertaining, inspirational, educational, and focus on what makes you different. Just be yourself, because nobody can be yourself better than you, okay? And so that's my 2 cents for today. And yeah, hopefully this helps you guys who are trying to grow your account. I know Instagram is hard and it is brutal, and sometimes it just seems like we're not making any progress, but it is a marathon, not a sprint. So don't get discouraged and just keep at it. I promise one day all of that work will pay off. I did want to mention that you cannot predict when you are going to blow up. I literally did an expo at Europa in Orlando and I had like 5,000 followers, and the very next day when I posted a workout video that consisted of 3 videos as a carousel post, that day I gained like 153,000 reach on a post, which never has happened, and I gained like 1,000 followers. And that was just like, it was nothing different than what I was doing before, but maybe Instagram was just like, hey, it is your time. So that's what I did, and whatever started to do well, I began to emulate that. So you want to keep repeating content that performs well, and that's basically the recipe for success. I'm gonna show you guys some of my analytics from last year. It's basically a year ago, and yeah, you can guys just see sort of some posts that work for me. Maybe you can emulate them. Okay, so going over the graph that Felipe is gonna put right here. In about May of 2019, I gained 13,000 followers, which was insane. And obviously the content that I was doing to get to that amount was the type of content I needed to keep emulating. So I kept on doing that. And later on, as you see, time goes on, in August, I gained 36,000 followers. Obviously I had a lot of momentum and I was just riding the wave. Instagram, their algorithm was favoring me, and I was just keep on pumping out content and just going with it, because you never know when that momentum is going to cease. So another person who has a great example of this is Oliver Forslund. That dude is killing it on Instagram and on YouTube. His growth is absolutely insane. I actually hit 100K before he did, and now he's like doubled my following, because he's absolutely killing it with the cinematography and stuff like that. His quality is unmatched. So whenever you're doing something well and people are resonating with it, you just got to keep on doing it and make sure you post with momentum, so consistently and all the time, and hopefully the Instagram algorithm will favor you. There's no guarantee, but if it worked before, why shouldn't it work again? Here are some pictures that did really well for me. Some of these pictures and videos got well over 100,000 reach. The reason for that is that the engagement is continuously progressing over time, and it happens a lot at first, and as long as it's on the explore page and people are continuously engaging with it, it will increase that reach. At least in my experience, that's what's happened. So it can be, I could post on Monday and that post will still be popping off on Friday. So that's how you know you are doing well. You have to look at the post and the insights and see if the reach is going up. So it is going up, then you know those types of posts are what people want to see. So make sure you figure out the demand for people, and then you create that content, because that's what you do. You are a content creator, and creating that value and entertaining and inspirational, educational content for those who are in demand for it. So that is everything that I wanted to explain when it comes to Instagram and how to grow your account. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, leave a comment below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And yeah, thank you again for tuning in to another YouTube video. I will see you guys next week. Thank you for watching.